Welcome to the Tonya Hoffman's fabulous TV show. I am your host, Tonya Hoffman, and as always, we have an incredibly fabulous guest star, and today is no exception. Actually, it's probably even more beyond fabulous. It's Terry Wildemann. Hey, Terry.
Hey, Tonya. How
Oh
are
my,
you?
good. Oh my gosh, y'all are you're going to put your seatbelt on tight this time, people, because you do not want to fall out of the chair. It's just too much. So I want to also remind each one of you that we too want you to go out and change the world from the front of the room. So go to Public Speakers with an S Association, all spelled out.com, and check us out. See what it is, and also use, if you're listening before the end of August, we have a summer half off special. So use the word summer half off, yes, it's that simple, in your coupon code, and that way you take half off. Okay, let's get back over to Terry. So Terry, tell us how fabulous you are. What's going on in your life?
Well, before I even go there, your energy, holy cow. People, that's the reason you want to join this association, because Tonya carries that energy throughout everything that she does, and she makes every single person she meets feel so special. So Tonya, I want to acknowledge you for that, because you are absolutely brilliant. So yes, this is a love affair. We got it. We know it. But I just needed to say that because you really do have an energy and are spectacular at helping people be the speakers. And people in general, just be the best that they can be. You're absolutely brilliant. So getting into that, I am a speaker. I am an author. I am a best-selling author. This is my recent book, The Enchanted Boardroom, which you can get on Amazon.com. And what I love to do is work with mission-driven entrepreneurs. Doesn't that sound cool? Mission-driven entrepreneurs who love the work that they do and are in service to others. But what I often find with mission-driven entrepreneurs is sometimes they forget that they have to be in service to themselves first before they can really serve others. So it's important to be able to learn how to really become resilient, learn how to really communicate to be heard and understood, and really integrate intuition and being kind and be able to breathe and to be kind to yourself first so that you can really be kind to others. And sometimes I think we forget all that. It's like, I often say to folks, remember when you're on an airplane, when the flight attendant says, put the oxygen mask on yourself first. Mission-driven entrepreneurs, you need to put the oxygen mask on yourself first, because you burn out. And then what? Where are you? You're not in service to anybody else anymore. And why do I know that so well? Because yours truly ended up burning out multiple times. And I had to learn to do everything that I now teach everybody else. I mean, those of us who are teachers, we end up teaching what we need to learn for ourselves, do we not?
Oh, yeah. Well,
really.
I think we all kind of come to that conclusion at some point in time, right? I remember looking around and going, why am I surrounded by broke whiners? And then I started realizing, because it was me. I was allowing that energy to be around me and not taking care of myself, right?
Yes.
And allowing that negativity to kind of cling and stick to me.
And that's what happens. It literally seeps into your cells and your pores. That kind of negativity doesn't help anyone. And I know even for myself, because I was really sick in my earlier years. And what I noticed was I was always talking about what was wrong with me. I was always talking about ill health. I was always talking about the negative, I was looking at what was negative instead of what was right. And when I started learning about law of attraction, I started learning about prosperity, I started learning about how to really create wealth and health by through practical means as well as intuitive and inspirational means. What I realized was how important my language was, and how what I was focusing on was creating my reality. And the more I chose to focus on great health for myself and for my children, oh my gosh, the healthier and healthier and healthier and healthier we became. And, yes, okay, you may have a headache. Okay, I've learned to look at, why do I have that headache? What is going on around my world, especially migraines, because I do get migraines still every once in a while, and it's because I eat the wrong things. That little moment of joy gave me a headache the next morning. So with migraine, if you look at the word migraine, what's going against my grain. I shouldn't have eaten the junk, but I did anyway because it tasted good in the moment, you know? So I do look, when I don't feel good, I do look at what is going on around me and why I don't feel good and what the emotional piece is and what did I eat, what did I drink, and how did I self-sabotage myself, you know?
Yeah.
So because what masters at self-sabotaging.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Well, and, you know, a lot of times it takes someone like you to kind of flip it on us so that we can even see ourselves. I remember in '05, I hired my first coach. I remember I was just like, oh my gosh, I hired a coach, you know, and, you know, and it was a goal setting coach. He masked it as goal setting. It was all intuitive listening
Yeah.
and, you know, goal setting was like the ultimate part of it. But, and I remember going and he said, what do you go and you look at it as negative and flip it on its head? And I'm like, oh, I don't think of anything negative. And then I went to go put the gas in the gas tank, and that was when the gas was really high.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I'm putting gas. I'm having this, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm doing that. So
Exactly.
then I'm like, what does it allow me to do to have gas? I get to go meet new people. I get to make money. I get to go have fun. And from that moment on, it was like this whole shift that happened.
Mm-hmm. And it really is about shifting your perspective, because when you do that, magic happens. The miracles happen. I mean, I'm a firm believer of, I'm going to use my rocks, which I use in my own show, believe in miracles, but we have opportunities to create our own miracles when we shift perspective, when we shift how we look at the world. I mean, honestly, it's a little hard to create miracles when you're negative all the time. It doesn't, you know, but when you think, okay, this is what I really want, this is the perspective I'm going to take. When you shift mindset, miracles happen when you shift mindset. Look at athletes, for example. For some reason, I'm thinking of track, track and field. You know, how many people doing the jump, you know, they jump and they can only jump 3 or 4 feet. And then all of a sudden the coach grabs them and gives them a pep talk and does this. And suddenly the person is jumping how many feet more further or inches further. Every little success, when it's celebrated, magic happens, and it starts here. And then we connect here, because when we connect the brain in the head with the brain in the heart, then we're coherent. The energy field of the brain is only 2 inches. The energy field of the heart is 6 to 10 feet away from the body in a 360-degree circumference. So when we shift into our hearts, we're working with the brain in the head and the heart, which is actually a brain. Wow. So when we do that, oh my God, magic happens, because then we step into grace, ease, and flow. Doesn't that feel good? Grace, ease, and flow. Oh my God, it feels so good. And it makes you happy. It makes you joyful. And am I saying that negative things don't happen and not to acknowledge negative things? That's not where I'm going. That's not where I'm going. What I do know is, though, that there is always something positive in every single thing that's negative. There's always learning. There is always growth. There is always opportunity in one way, shape, or form that evolves. And that, you have to have the negative, what we call the contrast, in order to put the spotlight on what you actually want.
Yeah.
So it's not about erasing the negative. You wouldn't know what you want if the negative hadn't shown up to begin with.
Right. And a lot of times it happens in ways that there's no way to even foresee it, right? You just push it out there. I know, because my sister bought some land out in the country right outside the city, and it was 5 acres, 5-6 acres. And she's like, oh, there's a spot right next door. You can buy the other 5-6. And I was like, I was really looking for 25 to 30. And this is what I had in my head, right, the whole time. And so the whole time I'm like, well, let me go look. And so I went out there, and it's beautiful. And I'm like, oh, this is so perfect. Maybe I could deal with 5 acres. And then all of a sudden she goes, oh, by the way, yeah, they've got the whole, side of the mountain open. You could literally have up to 30 acres. I'm like, what? You just told me it was only 5 acres. What do you mean you can have all 25, 30 acres, So you just never know until you push it out there and just see what happens.
That's right. Well, that's exactly right. It's, I find that every single day, things like what you talk about keep happening. It's like, okay, we can do this. Case in point, Tonya. Last week was our anniversary. My husband and I celebrated 32 years of marriage,
Yay.
and it was on a Thursday. And on Monday of that week, we were like, okay, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? He's outside doing, we only have 2/3 of an acre, and that's enough. Oh, good Lord. He works that 2/3 of an acre so much. And he's like, I'm tired of being out in the yard, and you're inside the house constantly working on the computer because our new show just launched, which, we'll talk about in a bit. But this was Monday, and he said it Monday night, and I said, look, why don't we just allow the angels? Why don't we allow spirit? Why don't we allow intuition, whatever you want to call it, to just take over, and we'll figure out what to do. And next day, didn't this friend of ours, whom you and I both know, Christine Powers, comes through and says her glamping site, New Glampshire, is available for the weekend. And I'm looking at that going, grabbed the computer. My husband was outside. I took it up to him. I go, look. He said, let's do it. That went in, did it. We were on our way to New Glampshire on Thursday. He took the day off. So we were there Thursday, Friday, Saturday, came back Sunday. And now I have a wonderful friend here from England who is staying with us for a few days. And oh my gosh, we have just had the best time. It's been the most amazing anniversary because we let go, we allowed, we trusted, and the opportunity just came out of nowhere. Bada bing, bada boom, done.
Wow.
It was brilliant.
That's so fabulous. Now tell us about this show of yours.
Well, this is all about trusting intuition, let me tell you, because and I will be very honest and say that when it kept coming at me, and that's what intuition does. Your angels, your intuition, your non-physical trusted advisors, whatever it is that you want to call them. I kept getting these intuitive hits. You got to do the show. You got to do the show. You got to do the show. And I didn't want to, because I did blog talk radio for 2 years, and I basically burned out on it. It was a lot of interviewing, a lot of stuff, a lot of work, and I'm thinking, I'm not ready to do this. So, make a long story short, one day I'm sitting on the couch, and bada bing, bada boom, out comes a Facebook page called Angels of Business. I'm like, what? I'm looking at the screen. It's like I just went into zone and I just created this page. I'm like, okay, let's see what happens here. But I wasn't really thrilled with Angels in Business. It didn't quite feel right, but I knew it was the beginning. And then I wanted a stronger name. And all of a sudden it became Powered by Angels. And believe me, I'm powered by angels. You know that. Look at the back of my office. I got angels all over the place. I got angels everywhere. I am powered by angels. And I've been powered by angels for most of my life. So I was like, that works. Then I gave a speech in New York called Trust Your Intuition and Succeed Brilliantly. And one of the women said to me, Terry, you are so grounded. You are so in control. You're the consummate professional businesswoman. And when I was listening to you talk, I couldn't wait. And you got in there, you started to present, and I was looking forward to you talking about intuition, because I'm all over intuition. And she said, then you talked about angels. She said, if it didn't come from you, I would have taken pause, because many of her friends who talk about angels are very woo-woo-woo people. I'm not a woo-woo person. I am a very grounded, practical, logical businesswoman. But angels are a part of my world. And I believe in them because they've saved my life and my children's life, and all kinds of stories I can tell you. So the name of the page then became Powered by Angels and Intuition. And then it evolved from there. Next thing I know, it's called YourSeventhSense.com. Business powered by angels and intuition. So this is all in 6 weeks. This is happening. The show is happening. The I had a spot in my upper back that was killing me because I was so resistant, so resistant. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. I was like a little petulant kid. I don't want to do this. And when I surrendered and let go, it's an amazing thing how the pain disappeared.
Right. Exactly.
You know, it disappeared. So we launched last week to a very non-spectacular launch because the tech didn't work.
Sounds about right.
It happens. But you can go to Your Seventh Sense, YOUR 7th Sense, SENSE.com. And you can see all the shows that are there. So far, my intro is there, and I did the first episode. Then we have more. Beth Dunn is doing the first one tomorrow. Actually. Then we have Rob Lowe is on the show. We had Swami is going to be on the show. We have Leo Woodford's going to be on the show. Satyen. So we have the next 11 shows completely set up, and you're going to be on the show.
Yay, me!
So exciting. So it's just amazing because it's an invitation only show, and the show has just filled. I'm guided as to who to have. I'm guided as to who is meant to share their story, and I'm trusting it. And actually, I'm having a blast. I really am having a blast.
So tell us about, you have another opportunity for people to take advantage of and get connected to you.
Yes. If you go to intuitiveleadership.com, you are going to find, we're setting up a few things right now with Intuitive Leadership. Our VIP days are being set up. They're online and in person. Our mastermind is being set up. But what I'm most excited about right now is our retreat. It's going to be in Miami, Florida in the fall. We're just finalizing the dates right now. It'll probably be, there's 2 hotels I'm looking at right now. So everything is going to be completely set up. It'll be in the very beginning of November. And I'm just really excited. It's called Unlock the Power in You. It is for mission-driven entrepreneurs. It'll be 3 to 4 days. It'll be completely inclusive of everything, and not airfare, not airfare, but it'll be inclusive. And it's a real deep dive into integrating the practical and the logical with the emotional, the energetic, and the spiritual, so that these mission-driven entrepreneurs can begin to heal some of the self-sabotaging stuff that's in the way of making success. And we're going to be moving forward. And even though we have the plan, it's only for 12 people. That's it. Only 12 people, because it's going to be that exclusive and that tuned in and focused on helping these servants, these mission-driven entrepreneurs, attain the success that they need. And that's really my focus.
That's awesome. All right. So how do they find out more about it?
www. She taught me not to say www in the beginning. Okay, I'm sorry. It's a habit. Intuitiveleadership.com. It'll be intuitiveleadership.com. I learned something new.
I know. Old habits. All right, everyone. Go to intuitiveleadership.com immediately and make sure you grab one of those spots. And then follow the amazing Miss Terry on her show and get connected to her. If you're looking for speakers to bring in, she's obviously a perfect person to do corporate trainings all the way to entrepreneurial stuff. So just, connect with her. So thank you, Terry, for being on today. We definitely want you back all the time.
Oh, Tonya, thank you. Your energy just fills my heart and my soul. It really does. You are such a servant leader yourself. So I applaud you. Thank you.
Awesome. All righty, everyone. So don't forget about the summer special. Go take advantage of that. And then also, we're looking for speakers for our London conference event. So go to publicspeakersconference.com to find out how you too could be a speaker in London next year in June. All right. Bye, Terry. Bye, everybody.
Okay, bye.